Hello everyone and welcome back to the Daykeeper. Today we are premiering a new segment here in the channel that is called the TRECENA analysis. So basically in this segment I'm gonna be breaking down every single NAWAL of each TRECENA of the Cholq'ij. If you are new to the channel or unfamiliar with the Maya calendar, I have a dedicated video where I explain what the TRECENAs are, what the NAWALs are, so you can watch before continue with the analysis. I would like to highlight that this is not a horoscope, this is not a prediction for the future, but if you are getting started and just trying to get familiar with the calendar, try and see it more as a thought-provoking system so you can ponder things in your life, in order to bring more clarity onto your decisions, into your actions, to your judgments, into your purposes, whatever. So this way you can track better where you are going in life, you become more conscious about the things that you are doing. There are so many ways to read the Maya calendar. If you're looking for something more specific, more personal, you can reach us whether in Instagram or join the Discord community. So without further ado, let's just get started with our analysis. And to start the series of analysis, we're going to start talking about the TZ'I TRECENA, which is the accumulation of emotions that can put us in check with the things we are sacrificing ourselves for in life. We just finished the NAWAL TRECENA, which was the 13 thoughts. That TRECENA spoke about the big plan, the accumulation of thoughts and ideas that can add to it, the accumulation of thoughts and ideas that can add to the knowledge we build in our lives. But also it can lead us to overthink too much, can lead us to overload, or even get obsessed about our ideas or plans, which cannot be healthy. So then we are starting right now the TZ'I TRECENA that talks about the accumulation of emotions. So after we're talking about the rational stuff, now it's time to balancing things, just taking care of our emotions. And we begin this TRECENA with TIJAX, one cut. Is the NAWAL of the spring, the fresh start, and TIJAX is the NAWAL of the incision, the NAWAL of the healing. So we're going to be talking more specific about the words that heal and the words that hurt. But also we can use the cuts to filter stuff. We can start by filtering the ideas or the bad ideas we had in the plan of the NAWAL. Or we can start just by healing ourselves, we just become too overloaded with our plan. So TIJAX can be the day for you to start maybe a self-care, like a self-healing. TIJAX may be the time for you to see if everything is in check, if your emotions are okay, healthy, doing the stuff that you're doing, not letting the emotions accumulate in a negative way. So it's the time to heal. Also, the TZ'I TRECENA talks about the loyalty, like the friends. Maybe it could be the time for you just to reach out some friends, maybe the healing you can find in their friendships, among the words of support. Then we move to Cholq'ij, 2 sheet lightning. So 2 is the NAWAL of retraction and Cholq'ij is the NAWAL of the deep intuition. You can talk also as acting in exasperation. Sometimes the North TRECENA can lead us just to be too focused on the rational stuff. We can end up being rude with other people. We can end up just like not being treated unfair. So in this TRECENA of the emotions, Cholq'ij is going to be the time for you to pull back and think about, calculate better what you need to treat yourself. So then we move to TZ'I, which is the 3 conquerors sun. Now TZ'I is the NAWAL of opening the path, just like the delta in the river or the waterfalls where the water breaks the obstacles and just flows. And TZ'I is the NAWAL of the conqueror sun, like the sun that is just conquering the darkness, is raising up. It represents the battle, just like the water that's going to the war, or the battle of the sea that goes to the darkness of the earth to rise up as a flower. So it's something you need to conquer. So TZ'I also talks about the fear. In this TRECENA, we're talking about the accumulation of emotions. Insecurity can be a big part of it. Especially if we just came up with a plan, things can work well in the theory, but when we are actually just giving that start, maybe we just be confronted with some insecurities. So TZ'I is the day to open the path for the battle, for conquering your fears. Then we move to TZ'I, which is the 4 water. Now 4, we're talking about the containment, just like a dam where it contains the water, like has no movement, or like a well. And then NAWAL is the NAWAL of the flow. is like the NAWAL of the injection of force. So 4 Imosh is going to be talking about the containment of the flow. If you are talking about the emotions, just to keep things in balance, 4 Imosh is an out for you to ground yourself, not to be too excited about things. Try to keep your emotions under control. Like sometimes if you just get too excited, Imosh can just be the imprecision that can lead to madness. So Imosh you need to be careful on how you apply that injection of force. How do you inject force in your emotions? And then we move to Hob-Yik, the NAWAL 5 Wind. NAWAL 5 may be the most aggressive of all the NAWALs, the NAWAL of the breakthrough. Just like when the dam breaks and the water starts to overflowing. You have no control of that. There is no way to contain that water. It can lead easily to destructions. And the NAWAL-Yik is the NAWAL of the insufflation of life, is the NAWAL of the excitement, is the NAWAL of the enthusiasm. Hob-Yik is going to be the breakthrough of enthusiasm, can be the explosion of these emotions. And that's where things could be going sideways. If in Imosh we talk about the containment of the flow for avoid things just to lead to madness, Hob-Yik can be where everything explodes. Like can be, like one single thing, one single word that someone tells you can be enough just to make you explode. And then we move to Aqib Aqbal, which is 6 Clarity. Now Aqib represents the NAWAL of the caves, like it's the heart of the TRECENA. It's the NAWAL where you're going to ponder stuff. And now Aqbal represents the first rays of sun that starts illuminating the darkness. We talk about just bringing things into light. So Aqib Aqbal talk about ponder the things you are keeping in the darkness. Sometimes you have some emotions that are arising, maybe boiling inside of you. So is the NAWAL to ponder what you're going to do with them, like how you're going to treat them. Sometimes when we just keeping so much stuff for ourselves, we can be corrupted by that. We can be fooled by our emotions. So 6 Aqbal talks about pondering stuff, what you want to keep the darkness and what you want to bring into light, or what you want to be more clarity into. And then we move to Qubqat 7, Descending Fire. Now 7, we talk about the hottest part of the TRECENA, is the NAWAL that represents the lava. And now Qat, we talk about the descending fire in the meaning of the sacrifices that we do to give life to the other, to help, to sustain the other. It's the efforts, like it's the tasks that we gotta do. We also can associate Qat with the net, like the bag that we use to carry the stuff that we need. Qat is the thing, sometimes we sacrifice yourself too much to help the other, which can be a noble thing, but it can lead you to become burnout. Sometimes you dedicate yourself too much to a business, it can lead you to become burnout. So Qubqat talks about the intense sacrifices we do to help the others. It can be a noble thing, maybe execute the plan we made in NAWAL, to help the community, to be on the service. That's what now Qat talks about. But sometimes if you are not just too careful, people can take advantage of you. You can be sacrificing yourself for people who doesn't deserve your time. You can become burned out and not having time just to enjoy yourself. That can be also a bad thing. So Qubqat could be like the day for you to make these considerations for who you're sacrificing yourself for. And then we move to Washaqib Khan, 8 Stellar Serpent. The NAWAL 8 represents the return of the rainy season, when the rain comes back stronger. And now it's also the restart of the TRECENA. And the NAWAL Khan, the Stellar Serpent, talks about intervention. Ka'an means the sound of the thunder in Quiche, announces changes in nature. So 8 Khan is going to be talking about the return of the intervention, or could be also the return of the anger accord, depending on how things are going or how you are dealing with things. If you feel that things are not going well for you, or you just feel like someone taking advantage of your efforts, break this illusion, to make the action to change the scenario, just to break through that before it accumulates into more negative stuff. So the NAWAL 8 Khan talks about the return of making this intervention, just to change the way the things are going for your better well-being. And then we move to Belaer Kame, the NAWAL 9 Ancestors. The NAWAL 9 represents the inner rivers, the underwater caves. To talk about the stuff that is hidden from our sight, it's just running there, but we cannot see, but it's just staying over there. And Kame, which is the most feminine of all the NAWALs that talk about the ancestors, about the supportiveness of them, but also can talk about suffering, feeling left out. If in the beginning of the TRECENA we were talking about self-care, 9 can be talking about your inner support, like how do you support yourself. If this is the TRECENA of the accumulation of emotions, you need to support yourself, you need to treat yourself better. And then we move to NAWAL, 10 deer. The NAWAL 10 is the NAWAL of the convergence, just like the lake where all the rivers reunite, all meet in one place. So it's everything coming together. And the NAWAL we talk about the strength, the spiritual strength. So NAWAL is the convergence of strength, the day to make yourself strong spiritually. Find this spiritual balance among the people that you trust. You know, everything can be a spiritual activity, simple stuff. So it could be a way for you to strengthen yourself with the help of the others. And then we move to NAWAL 11 seed. 11 is the NAWAL of the water is spreading, just like when the water is spilled or the wave crashes and you have like those drops of water just going everywhere. It doesn't have a lot of strength, but it doesn't have a single direction to go. And then NAWAL we talk about the seed, which is the potential to germinate. It's the potential to make like the trees, the forest grow. The seed itself doesn't do anything, it's just the potential of something. Also, you can destroy the seed if you just put lots of water. It can rot in the seed, it can lose, you know, all its potential. So 11 could be an awesome day for you to acquire what are the stuff that can lead you to intoxicate and try to dissolve that. Especially when we lead with emotions. It can easily lead us to addictions because we want to escape those emotions, escaping, confronting them. It can lead us to our addictions with alcohol or anything. So it can be like something that can poison you because you don't know how to deal better with your emotions. And then we move to NAWAL, which is the 12 ascending fire. The NAWAL 12, we talk about the cash out of the TRECENA. It's the hide and balance. You know, like sometimes when the dam breaks and the water can cause the destruction, but also can make like a new forest grow. So we talk about the unexpected stuff. In the NAWAL, we talk about the ascending fire, the sacrifices we do to achieve power. So in the NAWAL we talk the descending fire, that's the sacrifice we do for the others. The NAWAL is the sacrifice we do for ourselves, for our own power. But also can be something that we can talk about sickness. If you don't treat yourself spiritually and emotionally, you can see that just showing up in yourself, in your health. So it's now that talks about like what costs you. Sometimes you want to achieve power so bad you forget about your health, you forget about your friendship. You may get everything that you want, but that stuff can make you get sick, can make you get hurt. So now 12 talk can be, you know, this outcome when we overlook our emotions. And then we move to TZ'I, the last day of the TRECENA, the ruler of this TRECENA, where we talk about the accumulation of emotions. Now 13 we talk about referring to the volcanoes, the oldest, the biggest. So in NAWAL we talk about the emotions, friendship, partnership, like the people that we choose to be around us. But can also talk about emotional confusion, insecurities. Because emotion can be a tricky thing. You can condition yourself, you know, to be colder or warmer. The same way that you can train a dog to be a sweet companion or can be like the aggressive house protector. Is how you condition that. So TZ'I, the ruler of this TRECENA, talk about this accumulation of emotions. Sometimes if we ignore like our emotional states, sometimes we can be corrupted by them. So if you didn't start in TIJAX with the healing, where the spring was fresh and clean, by the accumulation the water can be already dirty. And it can be ended up being corrupted by the emotions. This emotional stuff can have huge impact on how we deal with life. So TZ'I is going to be the NAWAL of the accumulation of these emotions. So if you need your time break to heal yourself, it's going to be great for you to spend time with your loyal ones, the people that we enjoy the most, just being loyal to them or serving them if they are also in need of your help. And that's it for today's analysis. I hope you have enjoyed. Of course, there are so many other areas that the TRECENA can go. but this was just my brief analysis. If you are looking for a more personal analysis, you can reach us on Instagram or in the Discord community. The link is going to be in the description. In there you can get personal consultations and also find resources to study the Maya calendar. If you have any questions about anything, just leave that in the comment section below. Thank you so much, and I see you on our next video.